Hello, and welcome to Northeast of Algonquin. My name is Kara, and I run a small homestead in the woods alongside my boyfriend John, a little ways northeast of Algonquin Park in Ontario, Canada. We have 3 dogs, an 11-year-old Chihuahua named Dexter, and two 2-year-old livestock guardian dogs, Bridget and Athena. We also have 2 cats, Phoenix, who's a complete menace, and Freya, who's the sweetest cat in the world. And then there's Layla, our velveteen lop rabbit. We also have 50-something chickens. Life on the homestead isn't always chaotic, hardly anything goes to plan, and there's always some sort of project on the go, or something that needs fixing. While you probably won't see John on camera, join me while we navigate the ups and downs of homesteading and learning on the go. This life we've chosen isn't always easy, but we wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
You're such a good boy, Cal. Showing the girls leaves to eat. Such a good boy. All right, good morning, guys. Welcome back to Northeast of Algonquin. If you're new here, my name is Kara, uh, and my boyfriend and I run a small homestead in the woods here, a little ways northeast of Algonquin Park in Ontario, Canada. Um, Today, so last week, I guess it was, you would have seen me put this gate up on the chicken run. We had just kind of a makeshift, you can actually kind of still see it here, makeshift little like gate that we were using before that because we ran out of time in the fall to get a proper gate installed. But today I need to fix the gate because um, I couldn't find the right screws, and so I used nails to put it together, and there's a little bit of a gap forming at the bottom left, yeah, bottom left corner here. Um, and so the gate's not sitting quite right. It's kind of out at the bottom. But I also need to put, because this is on a downgrade here, I need to put a piece of plywood inside the gate to stop the dirt from getting down where the gate sits, because the chickens will kick it all down, and I always have to clear dirt out of there because they're constantly kicking it down from up here down the hill. Um, and Yeah, so I'm going to put some plywood there to stop the dirt from getting down to where the gate sits, because when the gate closes, where it closes this way, the dirt gets in there. Jeez, my chickens just jumped at the window and scared the crap out of me. Um, but yeah, it is a very humid morning this morning. It's not super hot yet, but it is humid. And so I think this is going to be the only outdoor project today because I did want to get some fence posts in on the garden. But yeah, very humid day today, and so I don't want to overdo it because I do have to work tomorrow. So yeah, that's the plan. Is to I got to dig a little bit of the dirt out, and uh, get sorry, John just came around the corner. Knew I was filming, but apparently forgot that I was filming. Um, Saw him come around the corner and then run back. Uh, but yeah, anyway, I need to dig a little bit of the dirt out so that I can get the plywood back there. Now I'm just going to use a crappy old piece of plywood that has been sitting outside forever. You can see this end of it is not good. There's a split right about the middle on the other side of it. So I'm going to use the other end of it. And we're going to make ourselves a barrier for the dirt. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to get started on that. Hmm. It's going to have some weight to it. All right. So we need 5 foot section of plywood. Okay, that's far enough out. So I'm gonna go 5 by 2, I think. So we cut it this way and then I'll cut it down the middle. And then I'll need something to use as a straight edge because I don't think mine is long enough. Yeah, no, definitely not long enough. Too short. So yeah, I'm gonna need some to, usually a random piece of lumber lying around. Doesn't have to be perfect. Don't really care if it's perfect. Just need those chickens are on a mission to scare the bejesus out of me today. Dirt off here. Guess it doesn't really matter because it's going to get covered in dirt anyway. But I prefer not to have dirt going into my saw blade. Okay. That. If you hear noise in the background, John's just trying to get barbecue cleaned out because he's making some barbecue pulled pork. Ooh, can't push on that too much. All right, we're just going to do a light line. It's not going to be a perfect line, but if I push down on this, the whole thing's going to just tip right over. So just because of the way I've got it sitting on the sawhorses. Yeah, it's a little. There we go. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. This isn't a. It's gonna wait on that side. All right, now. Yes. You know what? I want something heavier weighing down that side because. Here. I know. I know what I can use. This will work. This will work. Just have weight on this side when I come through with the saw. My safety squints are dirty. Because we're on the part of the Canadian Shield here, there's a lot of sand And dust is a huge thing here, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But anyway, let's get this cut. Just because this is a crap piece of plywood and it's not going to be useful for anything anyway, because there is a split right up the middle on this side. I think I'm just going to make this easier on myself so it doesn't kick back too much on me when I hit the other side, and it'll come up the middle too. Less weight on it. Come on, you bastard. Let's do this. Try and hold it from both sides. Come on. That way it doesn't kick back on me and, you know. All right. It's a little easier to support this way. Okay. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to do the job. Okay. Flip this around. Set this down for now. Okay, now right down the middle of it. I think maybe we don't need it to be quite that wide, so hold on, let me give you a quick measurement here. Let's see. Yeah, no, 2 feet is a good. If you want the dirt to stay down below that, but just in case they have a day where they're going crazy with the dust bathing and all that. Okay. Shift these over a bit. And then shift the plywood. Yes, the things, it's fine. I'll move it. So the one disadvantage to being short is it's a little more difficult to maneuver a large piece of plywood. All right, let's see. Which side of this do I want to use? It'll be either way, it'll be right down the middle. So my gate is very wide. Oop. Warped piece of plywood. Yeah, the gate is very wide, so it needs to be 5 foot in length to come to the outside of each post so that it's properly supported. Really do need to get a carpenter's pencil, so I'm not using drawing pencils for this, but whatever. It's fine. Because I'm constantly using my drawing pencils. Not that I actually draw, but carpenter pencils are just easier to work with, really, for stuff like this. Okay. Straight edge again. I don't know if this is actually even long enough. Might not be. No, that's not going to be long enough. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to... Well, that one should be, though. Well, will be. More than long enough. And again, does not need to be perfect. Just needs to be aligned. Because it's just holding dirt back. Approximate is good enough. Yeah, okay. That did transfer. All right. Put my weight on the other side. These bugs, man. I put bug spray on like an hour ago. But apparently I've already sweat some of it off. All right. Now, we'll do that on the other side so I don't have my back to you guys this whole time. Good Lord, I need more bug spray. Hold on. All right. I'll shift this to this side so that I don't have my back to you guys the whole time. All right. Let's get going. Figured that was going to happen. All right. Guess it doesn't really matter that much which piece of the board you use. But I'm sure you can see on the other side of this one, it's quite weathered. Yeah, anyway, now that I've got that, I need to no, this way. There we go. Oh, the sun's out. I was really hoping it wasn't going to come out because it's humidity's not quite as bad when it's behind the clouds. All right, let's see if I can. There. There we go. Level. But yeah, this is where I'm dealing with. So I don't know if you can tell or not, the ground level is about here. But I do have to take this gate down and fix the gap in the join. Actually, looks like I might have to fix a couple of the joins. This one's off too. It's kind of twisted. That's okay. Not a huge deal. We will get it done. All right. Going to grab my drill and we'll pull this down. All right. You guys back a little bit so you have a full view. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I should have just switched these screws out when I put it up to Robertson because I can't stand Phillips screws because they strip really easy. So, oh well, I didn't. Yeah, let's go bottom first. So yeah, we're just right now anyway, sticking with the screws that came with it. You know what? I might change those out because they are a little bit short for my liking. We'll go with my 1.5s. And then I don't have to change out my bed either. Yeah, that one's already starting to strip. I find most people I know, at least here in Ontario anyway, prefer Robertson over Phillips, but a lot of products do come with Phillips. All right. I'm not going to fall when I do this because the latch is still latched, so that'll at least hold it up while I do this. Whoops. Well, wrong way. Out, not in. Oh, goodness. Whoops. Where'd that go? There it is. All right. Let's get this shifted out of the way here. This is a very big gate. Mostly this end of it, but are you serious? It might actually rain on me. Hopefully not. I did check the radar and it looked like it was going to pass over us or pass, around us. So I didn't bother to worry about it. All right, let's clear the dirt out of here. Don't know if I can get those nails out. I also did throw a couple screws in here trying to tighten it up, but it didn't work. I've said I'm not the best carpenter. Now I do have to change bits again. I'm not the best carpenter, but I do what I can. Whoops, that's further in, not out. Yeah, this is like a 1/3 of an inch gap that created. Nails would have been fine had I been doing this on a smaller gate, but on one this size, it the weight of it just wasn't. Come on, weight of it just wasn't gonna hold, and I should have known that, but that's okay. If there's one thing we do well on this homestead, it is learn from our past mistakes. And it's pretty much guaranteed that we're going to make them. There's another screw in there, but I don't know if I can get to it because it's kind of buried shut. That might be a problem. Emma. Nope. Oh, maybe. Come on. I don't know if it's going to come out. God damn it. It's turning. It's just the way it's in there. The wood has kind of formed back around it, so it doesn't want to come out. Let's see if that helps. Okay, you know what? I've got bug spray on like 10-15 minutes ago. You go away now. All right, I'm gonna have to get something to get that out of there. So I will be right back. I also need my hammer. Yeah, it almost looks like it might start burning on me here. The sky's getting pretty gray behind me. All right, let's see first if I can get some of this wood dealt with just a screwdriver. It's just like the very edges that kind of formed in back around it with the moisture. If I can lift them a little bit, maybe, possibly, might be able to get this going, because the hole is stripped is the problem now, because it didn't want to back out because of the wood that came back down over it when the moisture hit it. Well, I don't think that's going to work, but we'll see. I may have to actually take the hammer to it and try and see if I can't get it that way. Yeah, no, it's just... Okay. Well, that sucks. So let's see if I can shift this back. A little further out now. Because it's driving those nails back in, right? The edge of the screw is sticking out now. Now I might actually be able to get it out. Come on, you. Come on. Problem too is that there's dirt built up in this screw too. So let me try and dig some of that out because it's not. Should have just pulled this straight down and fixed it as soon as I put it up and realized that it was like this, but it was a really hot day. and I was tired. And so I kind of went, well, we'll worry about it later. How am I sweating through the bug spray already? It's humidity, man, I'm telling you. Aha, there we go. All right. Okay, so now let's get this join butted back up properly. Use that gap in. Right. Push it out a little bit again, but may as well have a little more support on that. And then we'll throw a couple of screws in there to hold it in place properly. Now that I've actually got the right length of screws, it actually can hold it in place properly. All right. On there. And straight in you go. One. Well, hopefully it doesn't actually rain on me because I'm just trying to get this done, and then we've got some stuff I'm going to do inside today because I was going to work on more fence posts like you would have seen probably in my last video, I think. But with this humidity, that's not going to happen today. Come on. Oh, you know what? That should go a little bit further down. Yeah. I'm not splitting the wood being too close to the edge. Like I said, not the world's best carpenter, but I do know some things. And I probably should have pre-drilled the holes, but whatever, it's fine. Problem right now is that the wood is damp. There we go. That should hold it. Okay, so I need 2 screws for the other joint. Ah, nice. So yeah, that's straightened out this end a bit too, which is good, but you want to make sure. Go. And it's split a tiny little bit, but it's fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. All right. Oops. Sorry, guys. I know you're kind of just watching my back here, but oops. and get this done quickly so that I can get to digging out the gap for the plywood. All right, let's flip this. Or do I need to flip it? Maybe I don't need to flip it. Maybe I just need to shift it so that I can get access to. Oh yeah, that join's got a gap too. Okay, where's my hammer? Those nails are a little close to the edge for my liking, to be completely honest. So let's close up this gap. Yeah, there we go. Get some screws in there. Regretting my choice of thick cargo pants right now, but I also didn't want to be having bugs all up my legs, because when the humidity comes out, the bugs come out like crazy. Come on, bite. Oh goodness. All right, hopefully that one's okay. Should be all right there. Okay. Oh, 3 down, 1 to go. This one screw that whoops, as I throw it on the ground, one screw that I've got is just slightly shorter than the rest, but it's like, yeah, maybe half an inch shorter. It's fine. It'll do the job just fine. So, just shift this down a little bit. Yeah, that's support is now. There we go. All right. Now, did that shift anything out of place? No? Good. Awesome. Perfect. All right. Get this finished so that I can move on to the plywood. Whoops. Trouble with weird angles is in the gate not being completely sitting flat. Slow and steady. Yeah, we'll go right here. Oh, you bastard. Literally like 20 minutes ago, just put more bug spray on. I'm gonna have to freaking drown myself in it. I don't know what it is about me. The bugs absolutely love me. I think it's like something to do with blood types, why they go after some people more, but I'm very allergic to mosquitoes. And I thought it was not a very common thing, but I have a coworker who's the same. She's actually worse than me. Um, if we get too many mosquito bites in a period of time, um, it makes me feel like I have the flu, like, and I'll actually like upset stomach, fever, the whole 9 yards. And yeah, it turns out that I have a coworker who's the exact same. And yeah, I thought it was just a me thing, but apparently it's more common than I realized. Okay, get this out of the way here. So, what I have to do now is dig back the dirt a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, just so that I can slide that piece of plywood in there. Um, and it won't get fastened at the bottom because I'm not digging the dirt back far enough to be able to get uh, my drill in there, but it will get fastened at the top. So the downside to this today is that we had a ton of rain yesterday and overnight, and the ground is sopping wet. And so the dirt is heavy. But yeah, I need more bug spray again. Okay, so this is the fourth time in 3 hours that I've put bug spray on, and I've got a mosquito right here who's staying a few inches away, but still buzzing right around me. Joys of living in the woods, man. Absolutely love it. However, however, do not love the bugs. Okay, how am I gonna do this here? Need to move my herding stick. Sometimes when in the evenings when I go to put everybody to bed, my one silky rooster, Sage, the white one, I think I've talked about him before on video. My OG doesn't want to go, so I've got a couple of sticks that I kind of use to herd him with. But it's a lot easier to herd a couple of chickens than it is to herd 50 something chickens, I'll tell you that. I know I'm gonna have to, dig this all out of here to be able to close the gate, but that's okay. We'll just, for right now, get this back a little bit so that I can get the plywood in there. Mostly it's okay, actually. I just want to make sure. It's mostly just behind the posts that really needed to be cleared out. All right. Let's clear this out. Nope, there's a stick or something in there. Stick or a root or something. Yep, there it is. So the one downside to digging when you live in the woods is chances of hitting a root when digging anywhere on my property, even where there's not that many trees around. It's pretty high likelihood that there is going to be a root of some kind. And I'm really, really hoping that when I do my fence posts, because I'm having to dig down so far to get past the frost line, that I'm not going to hit too many big roots, because trying to cut a root 4 feet in the ground or 3 feet in the ground or whatever, not easy. If it's a couple feet down, I can get it with the Sawzall, but I can't really put my chainsaw down 4 feet into a 6-inch hole. All right, let me grab that plywood and we'll see if I can't slide it in there. I may actually cut another 6 inches off of this because it might be a little bit, well, maybe not. No, actually, looking at it now, put this in here. Okay, so a little bit further down on this side. Yeah. You know what? All right, let's see. You know what? I think that might be pretty good. It is almost perfect. And of course, I just, well, you know what? Actually, I think that helps level it out a little bit. I say, of course, I just knocked some wood into the hole, but that's okay. That's yeah, yeah. Either way, we have to step up. So I would rather keep this above the level of dirt. And it's not like, you know, I'm the shortest one. So if I can do that, John can do that. Yeah, it's a pain. I'd rather just walk up in, but with it being on a downgrade, like I say, they're just going to keep kicking everything down, and you can't really keep it level for more than a few hours. So, yeah, let me grab, well, maybe I actually have, I'm going to say, let me grab a couple screws, but it looks like I actually have two. Perfect. Sitting right here. Awesome. I like when that happens. Oh, yep, that's that one. So let's get the dirt out of there now that I can actually get to it. Screws that I had in the, I was trying to use to close up those gaps on the joins, but now they will become, now that's sharp. Now they will become plywood holders. Oops. There we go. One. And John's coming out to check on the barbecue. He's gonna. There. That ought to keep the dirt out of there. Okay, now hopefully when I put this gate back up, it'll fit a little bit better on that bottom side there. Now that the joins are properly tied together. Oh, there's a dragonfly. Hi, buddy. On my, come here. Come here. I'm trying to show you guys. Sometimes I can get them to land on my hand. Yeah. Now that the joins are properly tightened, hopefully it'll sit a little bit better. But yeah, I'm going to grab some screws because I'm not using the Phillips again because I hate them. And we'll get putting this gate back up. There are some other screws in this thing, so. Alright. You know what? It's so much crap out here. Okay, let's get this standing again. Oops. There we go. There we are. This way? Is that better? Sure. Let's just drag it along. It's the disadvantage when something is bigger than you. Quite a bit bigger than you. Oh, right. Oh, now that I dug that dirt out of there, it's sitting lower. You know what? If I have to move the latch, no, you know what? The screws are they stripped? They might not be stripped. This one's stripped for sure. Again, that's why I hate Phillips, because they do that. Okay, well, it does look like it's going to actually sit properly. Hey, maybe it is going to. I might still have to shave off a tiny bit down there, but that's sitting a hell of a lot better than it was, so I think I will move that latch. It's easy enough to do. And I'm going to leave this slight gap here, because otherwise it's going to kick that bottom end that way. So, get this started here. Because yeah, if I tighten the gap at the top, it's going to kick out that bottom end, and I don't want that, because then it won't close right. So let's do this. Screw in down here to start. Whoops. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just put one screw in each hole, or in each hinge to start with. Make sure that everything lines up right. And then I'll get that latch moved. Oops. We're going to, like I say, not close off that gap. Ooh, that's a nice breeze, actually. All right. Again, I'm going to have to change my bit. Come on, you bastard. Get rid of these stupid Phillips screws. I should have just done that from the start. And I do need to replace this one because it's not fully in there tight. Because the whole thing just stripped right out. It looks like it was drilled. Oops. I would prefer that my screws, the color of the screws match. Would be nice. But we're not going for matchy-matchy here. We're going for worky-worky. For lack of a better term. All right. Really need to get myself a tool belt with the amount of projects that I do. Okay, let's Just gonna slide this right in here where it's there. Sure, that works. Is that gonna work? Might work. Oh, right. Change the bit. And I dropped a screw. Where'd that go? There it is. Oh God. I love the ADHD brain. Although I will say, the hyperfocus does come in handy sometimes. Let's get one screw in to start. Alright, let's see, is that gonna, yeah, it needs to be a little further over, damn it. I wondered, but that's okay. Good. There, that's better. That gonna work? Yeah, that'll work just fine. Yeah. All right. And then we'll dig out the mound of dirt I created again. Although I will say, now that I dug that dirt out of there and this gate's shifted down about 2.5 inches, it is actually almost level with this post on this side. A little further down on this one, but these posts are not exactly the same height, so they're approximately 6 feet above ground, give or take an inch. They're 4 feet below ground to get past the frost line. So hopefully they'll last a good long while, because I don't fancy digging out posts and replacing them anytime soon. There we go. All right. Somewhere I should have a handle for this, but I may have to pilfer it off of something else that no longer needs it, like the old rabbit tractor. Okay, let me get the rest of those screws in on the gate before I forget, because chances are I will. 2, 4, one more. One more than I need, but that's okay. All right, get this all buttoned up here, and I'll dig out some of that dirt and test her out. I would eventually like to get some sort of, like, I don't know, like crushed stone, not gravel, but like crushed stone or something down through here. But we want to put in a French drain system, because this walkway through here between the garage and the run floods every year. And that's actually part of the reason that we moved the coop out from where it was, because this door actually leads into the old coop, because the coop would flood. So we ended up doing a raised floor in there, because otherwise the chickens would be swimming. Learned that the hard way, because we live the whole property, well, not the whole property, but the main part of our property is built into a hill, and so it's all on a downgrade this way. flat ground does not really exist around here, which is a pain in the butt. The flattest that we have is in back behind the house, in the backyard and where the garden is. But even there, it's not what I would call flat. It's just flatter. So, yeah. All right. That's that. Again, I'm going to have to move some of this dirt out of the way, especially now that this is down lower here. Oh, I think I hit a rock. Yep, I definitely hit a rock. What is that? Lord only knows around here. What is that? Oh, piece of concrete. You never know what you're going to find in the ground around here, because the original owners of this house, they had this as their secondary property, and they owned it for a very, very long time. And they were researchers and scientists who worked with trees and plants. And I know for a fact that there were buildings on this property that are no longer here. Oh, red brick. Look at that. Yeah, buildings that were no longer here. There was one storage building in the, might be wide enough actually, in the center of the circle of our laneway. That's not a, oh, that's a good size root. That's what that is. But yeah, there was a shed of some sort in there. There used to be, right in the area there in front of the window of the coop, there used to be what was, we found out a couple years back, was actually an outhouse. Because they used to actually live in this cabin while they were building the main house. Was originally an outhouse, but the owner that bought it after them and just before us was using it as a woodshed. And so we never knew it was an outhouse. We just thought it was a woodshed. But it was literally falling over. And it was a hazard. So we ended up, man, I'm going to have to do a bunch of digging here. Oh. Now that that's lower. Crap. Oh well, it's fine. It should be dug down anyway. On the concrete pad here, runs to about there. But yeah, learned a few things a couple of years ago. 3 years ago? Yeah, it would have been 3 years ago, because it was just before I started working at the job that I'm at now. And I've been there just over 3 years. But yeah, a few years ago, the original owner's son showed up at our door. When John was at work one day, he'd come up from California. He works in Silicon Valley, for his mother's funeral. His dad passed years ago, but his mom just passed a few years ago. and they had to wait until after all the lockdowns and all that with the Rona, um, for him and his sister to be able to come up from the States. And so he just wanted to, see what was different on the property. And so I learned a few things, asked a few questions. And one of those was that was an outhouse. Another one was that our well is actually a 300-foot deep well, which is freaking awesome. Oh, look at that. Railroad tie spike. I say, you never know what you're going to find around here when you dig down a little bit. But yeah, they were a very interesting couple. They were both PhDs. He was a tree physiologist, and she was an economic botanist, which is pretty darn cool. Also learned that our 1-bathroom house used to be a 3-bathroom house. So I guess the last owner, what's this? Oh, piece of a gutter thing. The last owner apparently took out 2 of the bathrooms. I'm not really sure why you would do that, but because personally, I would think, especially, since he was in a relationship and trying to redo the house for him and his partner, that you would want more than 1 bathroom with more than 1 person living in the house. That would not be a bad thing. Oh, it is not a hot day. It's only about 25, 26 degrees Celsius, but that humidity, man. Okay, let me. A few more shovelfuls. That pile is getting pretty good. You never really realize how much dirt you're moving until you look at the pile that accumulates. I don't think you guys can see it on camera, but okay. A little further down right here, and then hopefully that'll be good. I think I might actually take some crushed limestone or something shortly here, and not today, but because I don't have any, but go and get some at some point over the next couple of weeks, and put some down here, although I'm not sure if it's really all that practical, because like I said, the chickens are just going to dig down the, well, maybe not with this plywood here, actually. Maybe it will work okay. Anyway, all right. This video's going to be very long, and while I am trying to work on my editing skills, I'm not there yet because long form editing is brand new to me, so we are working on it. Let's see. Little bit further back. But I want this to open so that we don't have to, up and around and over. So the further back it swings this way, the better. So, you know what, for right now, I think that we're going to call it good. Well, now that it's open, let's see. Yeah, that's still... You know what? Maybe I will close up that gap just slightly at the top. Hopefully the bottom won't shift out too much. So what I'm going to do is back out 2 of the screws. And then this third one, I'm going to angle it. I'm going to put it back in. And that way, when I close this, everything will shift. Pull this way slightly. Okay, let's start this. There we go. See if that works. See if that worked. Better. Much better. There is a root that's kind of in the way a little bit down here, but that's okay. All right. Yeah, all I did there was I started the screw and a little bit of an angle, and then once it bit in, like, you know, a little bit, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch or something like that, I turned it. So I pulled the gate with it. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so it did shift this bottom out a little bit, but it should be fine. Just I'll have to make sure I put the handle like here so that when John goes to close it, I'll have to make sure he knows to use the handle when I find one. Because, yeah. Hi, Chippy. Chipmunk right below my tripod. Oh, yeah. I think in this video, actually, oh, my catalpa is blooming. Okay, I'm going to have to show you guys that. I'll show you that in this video. I think I'll put the clip that I was going to put in this one in the previous video because I have not edited that yet. Yeah, anyway. Ta-da! Gate done. I do need to pull that screw out. You know what? Maybe I'll see if I can do that now because it's completely stripped and there is no unscrewing it. So let's see. I can't twist that. Probably not. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure something out because this is not. Oh, maybe. Maybe I might have got it to bite. I did for a second there anyway. If I can get a better grip on it. It did turn slightly. Okay, don't use that. Come on. Come on. Yes, even these pliers on here are stripping the metal of the screws. They're not very sturdy screws. Well, at least I know. Okay, I'm not going to do this on camera, but I am going to replace that screw. But yeah, anyway, that is the project for today. And I work tomorrow, and then I've got 2 days off. I'm going to try and get some more of the posts from the garden fence in. And I will be carrying on with that again because then I work Wednesday and then I'm on vacation for 8 days. So we will be getting a whole bunch of outdoor stuff done this coming week. Yeah. Everyone always wants to know when I relax. And I always say I relax in winter. I'm a farm girl. It's the warmer seasons are project season or, you know, Um, they garden season or all the things. Now I'm not going to have as abundant of a garden this year because I'm going to be working on, getting the fence and the trellis redone and building the soil and all that. Um, but I do have a few things that I'm going to get in the ground: some tomatoes, zucchini, uh, watermelon. Although I've never had success with watermelon, I keep on trying. Um, Mind you, the one that I did get 2 years ago, my dog ate, so because it grew through the fence. Um, but yeah, might get a few more things in there. We'll see. But for now, we're going to call that done. I am going to show you a shot of the catalpa in bloom. If you've never seen a catalpa tree, they are beautiful. Now, the leaves on them usually do grow much, much bigger than what they do here. I'm used to them being, a foot and a half long, foot wide, uh, back where I'm originally from. They don't get that big here, but the flowers are absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys that. I'll see if I can get a picture or a shot of the flowers. I don't know if there's any low enough down for me to be able to do that, but I will try. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye guys.